And welcome back to another fish room video. I have not done a video on the frog wall yet. Well, look, there's a frog. I do have so many albino frogs available if you've got a reptile license and you're local. So if you want some of those, decent prices on them. I just need to find a home for them. Oh, where do we even start? I just realized it's been about a year and a bit since I've set up that system. So we're going to go through pros and cons with what happened with that system. My Nicaraguan parrots have had more eggs, so I just rescued those. There she is. She's very, very angry. She is not impressed that I took her eggs. Usually I leave a few eggs, but they accidentally all came out of her pipe. So she's like, nope, not impressed with life. Where do we start? It's Benji. Woof, 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 woof. He doesn't want to be petted. My CORYDORAS system. Yes, I have started putting the CORYDORAS back in the system. I will show you around the side in a minute where I had them holding, because I had all these breeding about a year ago, stopped breeding them due to time, and I don't know, they keep laying eggs and I keep rescuing eggs, and the problem is saving them and growing them up. And if you miss the eggs, like I think these longfin albinos laid last night, and I thought I'll get the eggs out, and I didn't, and they're all gone. My albino guppies are going super well, so swimmingly well. Look how pretty they are. So that is, I think, one batch. The adults are way down the back in there. I don't know if you can see them with the reflection and all that. We are very, very early morning. I think it is 6 a.m. at the moment. So it's not that early, but yeah, my days are long. This is my fun, chill time. This is, yeah, fun in the fish room. But I managed to save like 3 eggs, I think. Yeah, there. Oh wait, I can see 4 eggs. So I've saved 4 eggs. Just ridiculous. But that's where we are with everything. We're like, oh, we'll just save 4 eggs and place them there. There's Benji again. So that tank, it's mostly the few adult longfin albinos, and they are a really, really lovely fish. If you've never kept albino catfish or albino CORYDORAS before, they're very cool. Awesome community fish. Obviously they're big tails. You don't want them with sort of things that are going to nip their tails. This is a batch of babies who are growing up, so I will have them available in the shop soon if you want some bred by me. If not, we get them locally bred as well. Not that I'm not local, but you know what I mean. Oh, I should have cleaned all these tanks, but I didn't. These are our pale blue endlers. They are really nice as well. So I've just taken a few of them out of my pond system around the side just to see them. And I think I just have to line breed them a little bit, because sometimes you'll get some with a little bit of red, sometimes you don't. And it depends if you want to breed them with a little bit of red or not. So I think I have some Similis CORYDORAS in the back here. So there they are right at the back. I'm not really going to zoom in too much, but they will hopefully be conditioned to breed again soon. My gold laser CORYDORAS, which I bred so many of those a year ago and then just stopped. I know, they are in here with some normal little endlers. They are beautiful little fish. I know, there's something to appreciate with endlers live bearers. Everyone wants to breed the flashiest, best stuff, but you can just breed normal endlers and they are lovely. Don't get any bigger than that for the males. Females will still get big and chunky, but hey, that's the way it is. But we have emerald, no, not emerald green. Those are emerald green CORYDORAS. We're a tank ahead. We have our gold laser cories, so I will be spawning those again soon. Easy to trigger them, same as tetras, so soft, cooler water. Emerald cories, which are not a cories, they're a brooches cat, which is like a CORYDORAS but a bit bigger and chunkier. I have a big group of them. We bred so many of those as well. I know, I just had to have a break from CORYDORAS because it gets overwhelming. You have too many of one type of fish and you just need to stop. So getting back into that, this time I'll just collect eggs as we go, which obviously I've been starting to do that. Oh, this tank here, this is kind of cool. This is my first ever batch of peacock bass. So these are monos, so they are right at the back, they're just waking up. So I'll try and zoom in a little bit, but they're just wiggling around on the floor. Yeah, I hope it's warm enough for them. I may have to turn that heater on because we're only at 24 degrees. And I have a sneaking suspicion they'll want it about 28 or 29. So I may up the temperature on those. It dropped down to 24 overnight and back up to 26 in the daytime. That is not on this system, so that's the same water from the adult tank, which I've got around the other side, which if I don't show you in this video, I'll show you in one of the next ones. Down the bottom, we have more fry. I have tons of Texas. I know, the Texas keep breeding. We keep saving them. Oh, what is that guppy doing in there? I need to get that guppy out because we have an absolute ton of albino and normal convicts in there. I know. Why am I growing convicts up? Well, I'm just growing convicts up. In this little tray here, which you can't really see, that is the next batch of the Nicaraguan parrots. So yeah, they're still wigglers, but there are quite a few of them. There they are there. We're going to rescue you, guppy. I'll do that soon. In here, I've just got some more albino tadpoles, nothing terribly exciting. In here, oh, those are spotted marsh frogs, by the way. In here, we have some really nice guppies. So mosaic guppies, they have just exploded in numbers. My overflow systems, usually I've got the little mesh strainers like that one, but this one, which has the bigger sort of holes, there's a hole, the bigger holes, that goes into my sump. There are a huge mix of baby guppies in there. I'm just letting them grow up and bring them to the shop. But these are all pure lines. I don't even know what's in here. Oh, these are the little red-nosed guppies and that rogue albino that stayed in there, if you saw that in my last video. I've also got, what are those cories? Those are orange Venezuelan cories way at the back. I had a few spawn last year and kept a few back, and that's where they are. In here, where you just saw the albino guppies before, there are some bumblebee cories at the back as well. Probably not going to put the scientific name on the screen because probably no one really wants to know what they are. But they're CORYDORAS. Those are big broochish cats. So that was that system. That was the L number system before. If you haven't seen the filtration, it's super, super easy. I use sumps as water volume, not as filtration, because then I don't have to worry about cleaning up the sump. The water pumps from the bottom up to the top. And if we jump up the top so you can see my mess, there it is. All it is a piece of poly pipe with taps in it, adjusting the flow. So this system here, these tanks trickle into those tanks that go back into there. So if I do turn off the top tank, the one underneath will be off as well, which is what's happening with those, but I just use them for baby fish, so it's fine. It works nice and easy. All these, there's no new fish going into the system, so no problems with disease, but I can put UV, I can put ozone on if I want to, but these are all sterile, not sterile, but these are all disease-free. They've been here for like a long time. So anything I put in this system, I've quarantined for a while first. You can turn tanks off and taps off and tanks off and treat them anyway. So it's not a huge drama doing this unless you keep buying new fish and sticking them in the system, and then you're going to get issues. But they all have the same water quality as well. So I think I'm running the pH about 6.9-ish in the system. And yeah, obviously it's about 24 degrees, but it jumps up to about 26 in the daytime. So they've got that natural fluctuation. The filtration is a sponge filter in every single tank, and that is running off a battery air pump. So those are the big Resun battery air pumps. If you haven't seen them, you'll see them in the fish room randomly. I might try and put it in this video. If I don't, just comment in the comments and I'll try and get it in the next video because there's a lot to film. But yeah, that's the filtration. It works fine. It's been going for, as I said, 1.5 years. Sponge filters, if I turn a tank off, if the power goes off, the sponge filter keeps going. I think we've got a 9-hour battery backup. So that's generally enough for the bacteria to stay alive because there are quite a few fish in some of these tanks, as you can see. This system here is the same idea, and this system has been set up for a little bit longer than this system, I think by a month or two. Exactly the same idea. I have a 6-foot sump underneath, pumping the water through the same filtration up the top, but this one, I did a little bit differently than this one. I have 2 pipes. So if I go around here, where all the mess is, that pipe down the bottom up there has a T that goes into there, has another T that goes into this system, which has got L number caddies, and has another T up the top. So that water pumping up here, I can turn any of these tanks off and it doesn't affect the tanks underneath. So it's a little bit better, more controllable than that system, but it's the same difference. All these fish obviously are fish I've bred here or had for a long, long time. So there's nothing new going in the system. There's no diseases or anything like that. They still have a sponge filter. Check out those T-bar convicts. They are such a cool fish. I will have these available soon as well. Don't know if anyone's interested in them, but they are a really, really nice fish and I like them. So I tend to breed stuff I like. Wolf cichlids, aren't they awesome? They're starting to look like wolf cichlids. Oh, and there's a few blue-eyed cichlids in there as well. They look like little convicts, but they're not. Hello. So they've come from my big pair around the other side and one of the 9-footers. So yeah, that is the way that these systems have been going. A lot of people to start with said, oh no, it won't work, blah, blah, blah. You need to do this, you need to do that. It works fine. The whole idea is water trickling through, so it's a bigger volume, but these tanks are independent. And if I want to turn them off, I just turn them off. Easy. Especially if I've got little fry and stuff like that. There are a lot of fry in this tank. Wow. Hello. It is nearly feeding time. I have some really cool black Madakas as well. Oh, what have we got in there? Some cories. I think there's some little emerald green cories. There's some longfin pandas. There are some L numbers in there. Oh, there's an L number right there. So I think triple free babies in there. Up the top, we have L numbers. And this was my L number section until I started getting too many baby fish and had to put them somewhere. Ideally, I want 4-foot tanks on systems, and I do have a couple of 4-foot tanks around the other side that I need to maybe plumb up to this system behind me. I know, overwhelmed, it is what it is. Yeah, which they work a lot better for growing out fish, like all those Trimax in there. And I think I've got some blue-eyed cichlids down the bottom. Everything keeps getting moved around as I keep running out of room for fry. So I think if I plumb another 2 4-footers behind this system, and my lettuce is going really well. These two are elongated, but these ones are not. Look, more sun. I know. But that is my aquaponics system for lettuce, because we'd like lettuce. Yeah, so hopefully I'll just move some of these Monsterias or something and place another couple of tanks there that I've got. Because yeah, these are outgrowing these 2-foot tanks, and the more fish I have in the system, the more it's going to crash my system. But it was all L numbers, as I said. Now we've got longfin, what's it? Longfin bristlenose in there. Look at the tail on that. L something rubbers in there. There's some whiptails in there. I think there's some whiptails in there as well. Lemon blue eyes. Some more L number something somethings. Some more baby longfins, some L somethings, some whiptails. I know, they're catfish, they're sucker fish that just sort of sit there. The 201s are in there, the triple frees, there's some other ones in there. Oh, this is a dodgy system, by the way. Look at this. I have water trickling. I pinched it off this system, trickling into here. It trickles down, and then that goes back into my sump. I know. Understand, everyone freaked out about it. It's good as long as you don't touch it, otherwise it'll just go thump. They were old custom tanks. I know, one day hopefully I'll be able to do all this properly and have really nice tanks on really nice systems and just spend all my time mucking around with fish. This is, yeah, my part-time hobby. I mean, I own an aquarium shop, but this is just fun. I don't have to do this, but I seem to be doing this. Oh, where do we even go with this? There is our big red-tailed cat. So, whoop, he is a metre long, over 20 years old. Hello. Do need to put you in a bigger tank. I know, it was aquascaped with some fake rocks and that, but he just moves everything. And this is 4-foot front to back. So this is a pretty big tank. He's a big fish. We're going to get you in a huge, big heated pool, aren't we? Yeah, hopefully in another year or so, everything's going to be upgraded and he will be in a much bigger system than this. But this is plumbed up to another 9x4, 1,000 litre sump way down there. All these tanks underneath are a nightmare. So they're my African cichlids, mostly Malawis. I think there might be 1 or 2 Tanzanians. Obviously on a different system, different water quality, lots of algae in there. All they do is breed. Keep missing the mouthfuls of them, so I have to really get back into breeding African cichlids. Just haven't had time. I know. I need to work less and work more here. Baby African cichlids, not much in those 2 tanks. All these, which I think I showed you in the last video, are just all Central American cichlids in these tubs, and all these tubs are connected to each other. There was a dodgy 3-foot tank balance here where my Tamarillo is now. It was fine, everyone freaked out, but it wasn't long term. It was just perched there with some super red bristlenose in it. I think the super red bristlenose are in one of those tanks down there now. Easy to move stuff. Queensland grouper is going well. Want to get him out of that tank into a bigger pool and then hook that tank to this system, I think. Heating this, I'm going to use swimming pool heat pumps. Usually I do 2,400 watt titanium heat on an Aqualogic controller, but yeah, they just burn through way too much power in winter and my power belt is crazy. So I'm going to try a different heating system this year. At the moment, everything is unheated because it's so warm. I think he's at 24 at the moment, which is good for the grouper. He's turning into a big fish, isn't he? We should go around and have a look at him. There are, oh, my Oscar. Hello. I have a lot of Oscars, but that is a wild Oscar. He's a very cool fish, aren't you? Yes, you are. There is the grouper. Hello, grouper. He doesn't look nearly as big as what he is, but this tank is 3 foot front to back. He's a pretty big fish. You're a pretty big fish. And that is, yeah, 3 foot, 3 foot, 6 foot. So, oh, here's the back of the filtration, which is just a giant mess. To give you an idea, so water pumps into tanks, back into there. There's a canister filter pumping water from there into this 4 foot tank, trickling back into there. And these are the overflows. Simple overflow. I do want to change this with a gutter or something and grow plants in it, but it just merely just overflows all the way into our sump. Oh, sorry guys, they're a little bit spooked because it's early morning. Oh, these are my Trimax. How cool are they? I know, they're getting a decent size. I think there's a few spangled cichlids in there as well. Hello. Hello. Oh, now you're not being shy. I probably have to separate some of the smaller ones from the bigger ones so they don't wipe each other out. Blue eye cichlids down the bottom. Another 1,000-litre pool. Another catfish. Some tiny little fish. And this is just a simple pool into another pool. I know people wanted to see what is in there. There is a big Murray cod, but he's black and it's a black tub. You just can't see him. He's big. Maybe in the next video I'll put some food and you can hear him splash. And then my rice is going well and my endlers are going well. But this is just filtration. So obviously this is just filtration. This is a bio pump. So biological filtration with UV, water gets pumped, and I'm actually using a canister filter down there. From here to the canister, to this, back in there, overflowing. I know, it works. It's been set up like that for a long time. So it's easy, it works. Probably want to do that on a bigger scale and actually be able to see the fish in the pools. That would be good. Frog wall, ignoring that for now. But I think that is where we are. So hopefully this video wasn't too long. You may want a longer video. I'm not too sure. But I thought I've got a little bit of time this morning, so I will just film what is happening with all these tanks. It's been so long since I've really gone through all the tanks. Oh, I did not show you around the side. Did I? Whoops. Sorry about that. Lots of big big murky fish in here. I know, I need to deal with that. But in this system, I should turn the light on. There we go. Can't see anything, can you? No, you can't. So this is for breeding tetras. I need to replace the light up the top. I keep getting condensation in my lights, so you can't see anything up there, but you can see little baby longfin cherry barbs. Yay! I had a couple of successful spawns of these. This is the last batch. They're just starting to get their long fins. Very, very cute. I think there's some glow light dinios in there. I need to spawn them again because everyone wants them. Lots of other cool little fish in there. Oh, in here, No, you can't see them. I've got some really cool silver whiptail loaches. Can't see them. In there's just a mixture of tetras. We did spawn some neons and some albino neons. Forgot to film that. I'm sorry. But, you know, there's enough breeding tetra videos around, I think, at the moment. And there is a little school of pygmy cories at the back there. Aren't they cute? Everyone's laying eggs in this system, but the problem is I had a big cichlid in my sump. Whoops. I've taken the cichlid out now, so when things breed, oh, you can hardly see in there. You can kind of see, if you can see the reflections in that. That, if you remember, about a year ago, we had all our albino cherry barbs. Those are them now, which are adults. I did bring a fair few of them into the shop, but I've kept some as well. There's a couple. Oh, there's a cory I need to pit round in the other system as well. What are you doing in there? Yeah, anyway, more mess there. Giant mess there. We're ignoring all those. But that is where we are. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to cut it there, and we will see you in the next video.